Welcome back to the show. Tim runs his mouth with For America. Hanging out with you guys on this great Monday, July 13th. I took a little bit of a vacation, which is a new thing for me. I haven't done that in, I think, like 5 years. Let's get right into it. So I have a friend of mine with me now who has a little bit of a talking point, a neat little thing. Why do I only see your face? Why is there a weird frozen just of your face, Lori?
I don't know. That is messed up. Let me see if I can turn that
You
off
want
and
to
try
try
it
some? You
again
want to
and
try
see what.
video? Let's see if we can figure out video. Why don't we see if we can figure out video, and then you get back to me when you hit the video button. There we go. That looks a little better now. I think I saw it a second ago. Laurie Hens, who is the national committee woman from great state of North Dakota. You're frozen again. What is happening? Why are there budget cuts up
I
in North Dakota? Do they
don't
have the internet
know.
in North Dakota yet?
We do have the internets and the interwebs. We do have them here, but I am thinking maybe if I switch to another camera here, let me try something else here.
It's good to do this
Talk
live.
amongst yourselves.
Yeah, no. So here's what's happening. The midterm Republican National Convention, I don't know exactly what they're calling it, is going to be happening in Dallas September 9th and 10th. And one of the interesting things that's been happening is that apparently the states that are going to be attending, they have the ability to actually sell their tickets because the RNC has been doing so well financially that your face just looks creepy there. You let me know when you want to be live. The RNC has been doing so well financially. We've covered this actually on the show that the states have the ability to now sell their tickets so that people can attend the convention in Dallas. I see actual movement there. Hello.
In Dallas.
Hey, how about we work on the audio so I don't hear myself? Why don't we figure some shit out, Lori, before we come on the show? And so Lori is going to give you a link that if you want to attend the RNC midterm convention in Dallas eventually here, you will be able to attend. And I'm going to have a media booth there with For America and the Dallas Express. We're partnering up. It's going to be a really, really big, phenomenal event. I think it's a brilliant idea to do. And I want to make sure that you guys have the opportunity to attend. So if Lori can figure out her cameras, which she can't, and audio, which we'll see, we'll maybe get it together. Let's try it again. I don't want to hear myself. Are we good? We're good.
Hang on here.
Good. You know what, dude?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
All right,
Is that
so give
better?
everybody the information since the entire time that you've been fumbling with the camera, I started talking about how can people get tickets to this midterm Republican convention, and tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, it's an interesting thing because this has never been done before. So, because this has never been done before, we've got a situation where we're kind of pulling it
Can I
out
just
of
say,
our.
I'm just gonna hold on. I'm just gonna cut you off for a second.
Do you still have an echo sound?
No, but I just want to say you had a TV show at one point. How are you at a TV?
I don't very often get to do restreams like this, so it's a little bit different for me.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I just wanted to go ahead.
Yeah.
Just tell
So
everybody about this. Yeah.
So the question is, what is this even called? It's called a midterm convention, but it's not really a convention. We learned about it as RNC members back in January, and it was basically brought to us as a big rally slash midterm convention. But the midterm convention part of it is that there is not going to be business that's actually going to be done. So you're not going to have the typical actual delegates. You're not going to have the actual voting on things or things like that. It's going to be a messaging rally where we're able to actually get the president's all of his accomplishments out for everybody to see, and it's going to be a great big party, and it's going to be super super fun. I'm looking forward to it. I didn't get to go to the UFC, so for me this is like, okay, this is going to be our opportunity, and it's going to be in Dallas, Texas, right in your backyard.
Yeah.
So we're really looking forward to it. And a lot of the different states are doing different things in order to get their tickets filled. So we have a certain amount of allotted tickets, and then those tickets are sold to people for seats, and there's different levels of them. You can be on the floor, you can be in the middle of the area around, or you can be up in kind of the higher spots. So those are the different levels basically that all of the states and the 6 U.S. territories get. We are allotted, like I say, a very small amount of seats and a small number, and so there's a really big rush right now to get those tickets.
Yeah. And there's only a couple of days to get them, right? I mean, they're only going to be up for sale for a little bit because they're going to sell out too.
Correct.
Where can people get them if they want to get them from you guys? If they want a sweet
Con
North Dakota one?
Well, contact, if you're in North Dakota, you get first dibs. But if
Okay.
you're elsewhere and you still haven't been able to get there, you can contact our NDGOP party. You can go to ndgop.org and find the information there about ticket prices and how to get them.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think it's going to be really fun. I don't, I'm going to be there. Obviously, as soon as we heard about it, there was a thing that was kind of cooking with the Dallas Express. They had, because they've been here and they've been kind of helping out with a lot of media with the RNC. We had a booth ready to go, media booth ready to go there. So everybody can stop by and see me and hang out. And of course, lots of delegates can stop by and interview. We're going to be live streaming both days nonstop. I think I'm going to be doing 8-hour days and then not going to any parties like I normally do. I do not like going to events.
Who are you?
I just
Wow.
talk and then I go home. And that's kind of how this works. And so,
Well, this is going to be something to see. I'm envisioning that we're probably going to have major speakers. We're probably going to have great music. We're going to, have basically what we had for the Milwaukee, Wisconsin 2024 actual convention on steroids here, condensed into 2 days of must-see TV, I'm thinking.
I think it'll be very interesting. Yeah, no, if you want to get involved in politics and you want to go come to one of these things without all the business, that's really the thing that chases everybody off is the business stuff. I know when I came
Right.
to the North Dakota GOP convention, we were supposed to have panels somewhere in the middle of it, and there was so much floor business that was going on
Right.
that it stretched another like 3 hours or something, and then
Yeah, that was all good. It all ends
a
well.
lot was no, that's exactly what was supposed to happen because I remember,
Yeah.
and if anybody was there that heard me speak. I commended everyone on what they did, but at the same time said, "My God, do I never want to sit through that again?" Um,
Well, it is. It's hard when you're doing the business. When you're doing the
no,
actual business
and
stuff,
yep,
it's kind of tedious sometimes. So this is going to be all of the
just all
fun,
fun.
none of the hard stuff. And then the other bonus of it is that we get to tell the story of what President Donald Trump has done. He gets to try to rewrite, I could say it, rewrite history, because
Yeah,
that's what our chairman Joe Groters is saying. He says, you know what, this is what happens in midterms is very well documented year after year after year. This time we want to defy history, he says, and that's exactly right. We want
I think
people
we
to
will.
understand that they need to get out. People don't always know that. They don't realize, every 4 years time for me to go vote. Well, every 2 years. Seriously,
Yeah.
it's important.
No, it's incredibly important. I think more so when you take a look at what happens in states like Virginia. As soon as Democrats get power, they try to expand it as quickly as possible, and it will be the worst headache ever if Democrats are able to regain the House of Representatives. I'm looking forward to it, Lori. I think it'll be a great time. And again, like it will be the fun parts of stuff instead of the business part of stuff. So if you've never been to one of these like kind of RNC type things, now is a great opportunity to do it. You can go to ndgop.org, right? .org.
Nailed it.
Or any of the other your state parties. You guys should
Yeah.
start paying attention to your state parties to get involved and come hang out. And yeah, you can hang out, meet me, and spit at me or whatever you need to do, and it'll be a great time.
We'll see you there.
Yeah. All right, Lori. Thanks for being here, and thanks for the first 4 minutes of trying to figure
Yeah,
out your camera.
delightful.
I
Sorry.
really enjoyed it. You should come back on when you have it all figured out one day.
Well,
When
yeah,
you
maybe
got
I'll
time.
have a little more planning in advance, and I'll get my poop in a group. That'd be
Well,
great.
you're the one that called me last night. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
See ya. Lots of stuff happening in the news. Let's get to the very the I guess the heavier part of everything. Lindsey Graham passed away the other day, and currently, let me get this story pulled up. Let me get it pulled up even bigger than that. There we go. Currently, Donald Trump has recommended that Lindsey Graham's sister Darlene take his seat for the time being, just as a temporary seat. I have no idea if she even has political experience. I just pulled this article up just before I came on live. From the New York Post, Senator Lindsey Graham's only surviving family member spoke briefly with the Post on Monday about the loss of her brother following his heart attack on Saturday night. President Trump recommended Graham's wonderful sister to serve as interim senator until a special election can be held. Actually, I'm just kind of devastated right now. I mean, what do you expect? Like, she just lost her brother, her 71-year-old brother, and I'm not laughing at like the loss. I'm laughing at the fact that how ridiculous it is that the media now is surrounding her because she's now going to take, again, it's a ceremonial position, but God, the last thing you want after you lose your brother is the media hounding you and saying, hey, are you ready to go to Washington, D.C.? And she's not one of these politicians that tweeted out the very next day talking about how they want to run for the seat immediately, Nancy Mace. She's actually a human being who is grieving, and her statement was actually, I'm kind of like devastated right now. And I can't believe they even like phrased it that way for her. Let's give her a moment. And that's been my whole thing with this entire thing. Number one, there are a lot of disgusting people who have celebrated the death of Lindsey Graham. Look, I didn't agree with everything he did, but I'm not going to celebrate anybody's death. But how about we give it a beat? How about we have a funeral and we let the man get the respect that he deserves, and then we talk about filling the seat. Just give it a breath. Just give it a breath, everybody. We don't have to rush. And again, shame on both the people. I kind of equate them the same way. Shame on the people who celebrated his death, and then the other people who are ready to take the place and immediately declared that they're running for office, as if it's like, it's not like he resigned. The man passed away. And again, I wasn't a fan of a lot of the stuff. I made fun of him all the time. But I'm not going to spike a football, and I'm not ready to speculate on who should take his place. But, I mean, I like the New York Post. I like most of News Corp stuff. How about we give his sister a break, too? I mean, yeah, ceremonially being a senator for a little bit would be nice. I think it's a nice tribute from President Trump to suggest that. But the last thing she needs is the media blowing her up. Hey, what do you think about that? What are you going to do now that you're going to be in D.C. in the office of your brother? Let the people grieve. Let the family grieve. Let everybody grieve, and then go from there. The article keeps saying here, in between all the advertisements, South Carolina Republican Governor Henry McMaster will be choosing the replacement. He's scheduled a 4 p.m. press conference, so that's going to happen after the show today. This would be a fabulous tribute to Lindsey, who loved her dearly, Trump added. Representative Joe Wilson, a Republican from South Carolina, agreed and told the Post that he has known the late South Carolina senator's sister for years, and she's a constituent of mine in Lexington County. I have faith in Governor McMaster that he'll make the right decision, but I would support the president's recommendation, Wilson said. And then it goes on to talk about what they found. So, yeah. Again, just gotta be what a weird moment for you're grieving, and then you got to deal with the media because suddenly you're replacing your brother in the Senate. So anyway, that's the big news on him this weekend. There's a lot of other stuff that's going on. I want to cover it with our friend and the head of the Media Research Center, David Bozell. Let me get that out of there, and let's bring in this gentleman a little bit early here. Mr. Bozell, how you doing? You're muted somewhere. Once we figure it out. You're dressed very nicely today. Let's describe what he's wearing today. What a nice tie. Kind of looks like a Mets tie. Where is it? Can't hear you. I'm making sure it's not on my side. Well, while David Bozell fires his tech staff over at the Media Research Center, fantastic researchers over there, great work. I will pull up what we're going to be talking about. Where shall we begin? I always like talking about The View when I deal with David and everybody over there at the old Media Research Center, because there's nothing better than seeing exactly what hate they're trying to spread. Now, this time, we're going to start with Sunny Hostin, who has found that American flags scare her and let her know just how, again, and by the way, her family, slave traders. Historically, they were slave traders. But she's afraid of the American flag.
And I said this on this show many years ago, because this is my 10th year on the show, and I said there are times when I walk into a community and I see American flags all over the community, and I suddenly feel unsafe because there is a section of this country that has co-opted the American flag.
There's like 6 people. There's 6 people in the audience agreeing with this.
And they equate being an American or an American flag with white supremacy, and that should never be
Ever.
the
Nobody equates an American flag with white supremacy. You know who equates an American flag with white supremacy? Sonny Hostin.
symbol of white supremacy, but they have weaponized.
Because the flag belongs to all of us.
It does belong to all of us. But those men were wearing a flag on their. By the way.
This is just unbelievable. The stupidity from the View and the absolute talking points that come out from these people are insane. Let's see if we've got David Bozell to join us right now on this. I can't hear you. Interesting. All right. Well, we'll come back. We'll see how it's going. But again, I want to play this clip again because on the 4th of July, in case you guys didn't see it, they rolled out Patriot Front. When I say they, I'm assuming the left or the deep state or whoever is funding Patriot Front, the SPLC. And when they rolled them out, they found a woman on a train that they took a photo around who had been charged with indecent exposure. I believe she even defecated on the train. And they took a photo. They just so happened, by the way, this terrible white nationalist group that everyone is in the left is scared to death of, just happened to have a Reuters reporter hanging out with them the entire time to take a photo. Have high quality photos. And they set up this mentally ill woman. She's very clearly mentally ill. You can see it from earlier videos. They happen to set her up just kind of in the middle of a metro train, by the way. I'm tired of people saying it's a bus. It's a metro train. Used to ride this all the time in DC. They set her up on that. They took a photo of it, and that's what they tried to talk about instead of the celebration, the incredible celebration of America's 250th anniversary that President Trump was able to pull off. Let's see if we've got David Bozell.
Okay, come on.
I gotcha. I can hear you now. Somebody's losing their job. Anyway.
Somebody's, plural. Plural. Rest in peace, Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Let's talk about that really quick before we get
Sure.
into the story here. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the automatic from the left of all the hatred. But then our side,
Yeah.
you've got people like Nancy Mace declaring that they're going to run for office.
Yeah.
Like 8 hours, not even 8 hours later in the morning, and it was like a joke post, like, "Oh, they just dragged me back in," and it's like, "Yo,
Yeah. She used the Godfather clip from Godfather 3. Every time they try to get out, they pull me back in. I saw that. I was like, okay. No wonder you came in 5th place.
Yeah.
In your gubernatorial run. Look, you said it right, Tim. Lindsey Graham's relationship with the conservative ecosystem was quite complicated. Did he vote the right way on 98% of things? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Did he help Kavanaugh get through? Yes.
Incredible work.
Incredible. And came up with the viral moment when the viral moment was necessary.
Yeah.
Look, I don't have any doubt, though, when he went after President Trump, and I know they're good friends, so I want to respect that. But when he went after President Trump during the primary, he would have loved to have been the guy to take him out. And that would have been a career capper for him. So, but okay, they've mended fences. That's fine. I just can't get past the fact that he went and told the author of a J6 book that he wanted to see J6ers shot in the head.
Yeah.
That to me is just okay. I mean, that to me, that just shows like some of the worst instincts. And he's been being credited as being a senator with good political instincts.
No.
And when you combine that comment with his instinctual animosity toward President Trump during the primary, not to mention saying that Joe Biden was as good a man as he's ever met in Washington. I mean, that one was a head scratcher. So his relationship with conservatism, I think, was complicated, though I'll credit him for voting the right way on most things. And I applaud his sacrifice and service to the country. And I thought I've enjoyed watching some of the eulogies. The eulogy he gave for Joe Lieberman that went viral yesterday was terrific. And Joe Lieberman was a good man, former senator out of Connecticut. And the fact that he didn't get rich while being
that's the kicker.
I thought that was, I mean, you don't see that a lot anymore. He did not get rich. So he did some good. I'll disagree with some of his commentary in the past, but I hope he hope he finds solace in heavens above and Godspeed and prayers for all his family.
Yeah, he was always getting to the bottom of it. Every time he'd talk about something that was terrible in the government, he was always writing a letter and getting to the bottom of it. He was on Hannity like every night.
That's true.
And I just man,
it's true.
Come on now, man.
So I think someone said, he was in the middle of everything. And I thought, and it was kind of couched as that was a good thing. And I'm thinking, I'm not so sure that was a good thing, that he was in the middle of everything. But again, God rest his soul and prayers for his sister and their extended family, and they're going to need him.
Yeah, I just couldn't imagine getting a phone call. And again, a great honor, and I understand what Donald Trump's doing by not saying hey, let's let her ceremonially take that seat for a couple of months while we find a replacement. But the last thing you want as a grieving family member is the New York Post and every media organization reaching out to you, trying to get an interview. Again, right. It's we're within 48 hours, man.
I'm not even sure. I mean, they've got some confirmation hearings this week, but even John Thune's oh, look, the schedule's. We're not really voting on much. They're not voting on legislation anytime soon. So I know they want to get some of the things that Lindsey Graham wanted, NDAAs. That was his last public press conference. I thought was a little strange when he said that he was going to get back to Washington from having just returned from Ukraine, and find a way to end the war. Pardon me. I want to get this quick. They're going to talk to Senate leadership about finding time to find a way to end the war. And I know in Senate parlance, time is time on the Senate floor. And I thought that's such an odd thing to say. I mean, you have to find time to end a war. I mean, if you can end a war, let's make that priority one. So, but that's just these guys, they run on different schedules.
Color me ignorant. I did not realize the Ukraine thing was still happening, and that he's flying back. I mean, he's been, as far as Republicans go, I believe he's been the most frequent flyer to Ukraine.
Yeah, I saw the clip of him wearing the "Make Iran Great Again" hat, which I thought was an odd play from the senator from South Carolina. But look, foreign policy has always been his thing, and so
the people of South Carolina reelected him over and over again. So they must have been representing them the way that they wanted to be represented.
Yeah, and he had a terrific political machine, and he had many a challenger over the years.
Yeah,
that never even came close. So he knew how to win in South Carolina, and he was one of the guys that came in during the Gingrich Revolution. That's since stuck around. So again, one of the more colorful careers in the Senate that we'll see in the modern era, and certainly had his fingers in a lot of different legislation. And voted the right way, but some of the commentary along the way and some of the intrusion in the conservative, the populist rise. I mean, he obviously didn't like it, and went after Trump in a big way. I know this is a forgive and forget town, and so we'll do that.
I could say a lot, but and you almost teed me up with something there, and I'm not going to touch it. Just not going to touch it. All right, let's go to this instead. Let's go to somewhere where I can actually run my mouth. This nasty trash here. Here is we watched. By the way, what did you do for America 250? What did you do? Did you go somewhere for fireworks?
Yeah, I was on a rooftop on Main Avenue and watched the fireworks over Jefferson Memorial. Awesome, awesome show. Kudos to all involved. You could have started about 2 hours earlier, but that's okay. But awesome job by everybody involved. The flyovers are great. Look, I don't care what the press says. That city was packed.
Oh, it was.
It took about 2 hours to go a quarter of a mile via car to get out of the city afterwards. And I live in Northern Virginia. I didn't get home till about 3 o'clock in the morning. So, I mean, it was packed. Every Metro car was packed. So there was a lot of enthusiasm. People visiting from all over the world, packing the city, but also Washingtonians. Washingtonians kind of have a way of kind of putting political differences aside to enjoy a good fireworks show. So it's one thing we do well.
Oh yeah, no, but the media ran with this story, which, by the way, when we talk about and what you guys have focused on at Media Research Center, Newsbusters, when we talk about how the platforms are selecting specific stories only from leading outlets, this is what they tried to cover for it. Because you're right, DC was packed. Everybody loved the fireworks. Everybody said, "Holy shit!" Basically, is what everybody said, because it was 851,000. It was a world record for fireworks.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, the absolute correct person to be the president of the United States during America 250. I couldn't imagine what it would have been under Kamala. That's how you do it. You blow the city up with fireworks. It was incredible to watch. I saw it on TV. I was in Orlando. But this story is what they've tried to push. This phony, mentally ill woman around the SPLC, I'm sure funded Patriot Front, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
Then they took that, and then they carried it over to The View, because that's where you go and get all of your left-wing talking points. And Sunny Hostin began talking about how clearly white nationalism is connected directly to the American flag. It was obnoxious and to be expected, right?
Yeah, look, the View's in a little bit of a pickle. They are desperately trying to hold on to, well, ABC and Disney is desperately trying to hold on to its broadcast licenses that the FCC is currently reviewing. And why shouldn't they be? Look, it's a taxpayer-funded subsidy. The broadband itself, right, is worth tens of millions of dollars, just the broadband signal itself. In return for taxpayers providing that signal, the deal is, on paper, that ABC, owned by Disney, has to provide news, quote, in the public interest. So when Sunny Hostin gets on there and says that she's embarrassed by the sight of dozens of American flags in a yard, I don't see how that qualifies as being in the public interest. When the View has 130 liberal guests to 2 conservatives, one of which was Marjorie Taylor Greene, who wanted to pick a fight with the president, and the other one was Cheryl Hines, the wife of RFK Jr., who's not really a political conservative at all. We were being generous in that designation. Yeah. When you're having all these just hundreds of liberal guests and almost 0 conservative guests, you're not serving in the public interest, not to mention the personal invective that they throw at the president and anyone associated with him day in and day out. So they've decided that they're going to qualify themselves as a, quote, bona fide news program. And that carries some responsibility, not just equal time, but not just equal time in their guests, but equal time in their rhetoric. So this is going to get to a situation, if the FCC declares that they are bona fide, and I think that might be a stretch, but let's just say they're generous and they do. I suspect that there's going to be a ton of lawyers sitting underneath the dais of that show, issuing retraction after retraction after retraction after retraction. But The View is probably the last of its kind in this era, and able to basically imagine The View if it were guys. It would have been canceled long ago.
Correct.
Especially all liberal men would have been canceled long ago. Actually, there was an attempt at that with who's the guy who's AC Slater, Saved by the Bell, and
Mario Lopez.
Mario Lopez. Yeah, a couple other guys. Timothy Butterfield, I think, was on that, and that lasted for a hot 2 seconds, and that was that. But the fact that it's only really survived, in my opinion, because it is all women, and ABC doesn't want to fire an all-female show. But they're going to continue to get into more and more hot water as they continue to be negative against the president, negative against the administration, and while simultaneously trying to claim that they're bona fide news, and also trying to simultaneously take advantage of a broadband network that the United States taxpayers provide. They can't coexist.
No, absolutely.
So one of these things is going to have to, the dam's about to break on. I think the dam's going to break on The View. And look, ABC is if you had to rank the worst network, Tim, ABC is kind of by far and away the worst because of The View, because they have that extra hour in midday that's raw politics.
Yeah.
All the morning shows and the evening shows are pretty much the same in terms of the bias. They're all negative, but the ABC has the extra hour, and of course Kimmel is awful beyond repair. So ABC is kind of by far and away, just in terms of quantity, the worst network of them all.
Well, here's by the way, this is Whoopi Goldberg talking about how you should basically run every time you see white men in trucks and ice.
I thought we explained we did not want this to continue to happen.
No, and then we also wanted body cams, and according to the Texas law enforcement, they didn't have enough to put them on everyone. Then they shouldn't be going out on arrests. You can't have unmarked, named cars.
For context, another guy tried to run over ICE agents over the weekend and got killed.
Yeah, look, go ahead if you need to run it.
Yeah, I'm going to run the rest of this.
Chasing people, and if you watch all the videos, there's no lights to indicate anything.
No.
They're being chased by a vehicle. I can only speak as a woman. I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep going because that is about safety and self-preservation. So,
And forgive me, it is also a truck full of white guys, and you don't
The scariest.
know what's going on. It's a truck. It's like common sense tells you not to do that.
Yeah. Again, if you were bona fide news, would you say that? Like,
No.
If you were scripted by a teleprompter and a news editor, I mean, you just wouldn't. So it's just a pure opinion that's not true. And again, that's broadband provided by the United States taxpayers. So the question is, should we be providing it? And look, and I got news for her. Even if you took that incident, even if she was right, okay. 78 million people voted for Trump to do exactly that, right? To engage in serious deportation efforts because of the Biden administration's open border policy. So the preface to that argument was, I thought we said we didn't want this. Okay, that's what you said. Cue the Big Lebowski. That's just like your opinion, man. I mean, you all may not like it, but 75 million plus voters voted almost, I would suggest, almost single issue to fix this immigration crisis that we were in, which Donald Trump ended up fixing. And he's going to be celebrating in Dallas. So
I don't understand where they're trying to say that they're, man, those trucks full of white guys that come chasing you down on the streets regularly. I don't understand. Somebody hears that, somebody believes it. And maybe there's a little something here, and I don't know if we prepped you for this topic or not. Have you seen this account, Department of Deportations?
Yeah, I saw that over the weekend. Yeah, it's great.
I mean, there's something happening here, and I don't know who handles this, if it's going to be a Harmeet Dillon situation or what. But
I don't want to know. There should be a creature of mystery. It makes it more fun.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say thousands of non-white people are being listed as white when they are incarcerated.
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy. Here's Miguel Rodriguez, white. Ramiro Rodriguez, also.
Yeah.
I mean, but this goes on and on and on. That's a joke of theirs. But like, again, all of these people, and there's a list of, and I had retweeted it at one point here. I'm seeing if I can find it, because this guy got real popular. He got about 50,000 followers over the weekend. There's a list of like very Indian names,
right? That
like every single one of them. I'll go to my page. Every single one of the names is. Here we go. You got. Who can forget Tadaram Singh, Gilmore Reddy, Samar Singh, Dimitri Sharma, Parshant Chopra, Niraj Kumar Kapadia. Again, all of these people listed as white.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's wild. It's a great discovery. I'd love to know the motivation. But whoever's behind the account, kudos. You've breaking some barriers here, and it's been instrumental in furthering the conversation. I mean, this goes to, it's almost like the sadly, really, the U.S. families that have been killed by uh, 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 immigrants with these commercial driver's licenses that can't speak English.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that story got no coverage at all, none whatsoever. Deaths in Florida, deaths in Indiana, deaths in Ohio, same type of thing. Guys who can't drive that are mowing down United States citizens, and it's the conservative ecosystem that's brought this stuff to light, and the rest of the mainstream media complex doesn't want to talk about it. And Nick Shirley is another good example of this, right? Nick has, I mean, yes, were there prosecutions for fraud in Minnesota before Nick Shirley blew the doors off of his videos? Yeah, there were a few. But the fact that he's gotten, Dr. Oz involved, going to Los Angeles, going to New York, going back to Minnesota, Daily Wire has gotten involved in Ohio. Again, these are all stories that the press has yet to cover, CBS being the lone exception in Los Angeles. But the rest of them have yet to cover. These guys were ripping us off to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars in multiple states. And you can't tell me that the big media apparatus doesn't have resources to cover it. It's ridiculous. And it's the same type of thing here. You think of someone in the media might be curious as to whether or not or why so many of these foreign sounding names, illegal immigrants, are being classified as white in their arrest reports.
It's mind blowing. And this weekend, by the way, we've now moved on to, I believe, Koreans who run adult, elderly facilities. They one group.
Yeah.
They went into a building. What was it? They had 7,000 patients at $1,600 a month.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's an incredible story. Incredible videos that Nick did. Once again, he's beaten the entire media apparatus to the punch. And then he's got, now he's got kind of the full weight of government with Dr. Oz kind of in tow, giving validity to this. Because look, there's some of the regulators are seeing this and they're saying, what are all these upcharges? And look, I understand the phenomenon. I'll use phenomenon for lack of a better word, but the necessity for adult daycare, right? You can't afford assisted living. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars. I get it. But 8,000 clients in a roadside apartment in the middle in New York City. And the best part about those videos, what Dr. Oz points out, he said, look, if you go 10 miles into Long Island, you don't see any of this. So it's just within this little radius where you get this stuff. And on top of that, Tim, you can get coached on how to do this kind of billing, right? And they hide out in plain sight. Right? You can go to internet forums. That was the thing I was scratching my head about. Like, how do they learn how to do this? And you start just a quick Google, you can figure out there's classes you can take on how to upcharge for these sort of things. So these guys are all hiding out in plain sight. They're easily gettable. They're easily caught if you just invest a little bit of gumshoe reporting resources to the story. But because it would hurt a Democrat, because it would hurt a Democrat's view of government, they refuse to touch it.
Yeah, it's wild. I say this every time we talk about this. Why do we have legitimate jobs? Because apparently we could have got away. We could be.
Oh, I know.
Mega millionaires right now. What are we doing?
I know. I'm going to turn MRC into an adult daycare unit and start just making. Don't laugh over there in the studio.
It's not already.
It's true. It's all you. You.
You got the. I don't know. I have so many things that would just personally insult half of your staff, and I just can't, because I'm just thinking in my head like all the jokes I have about each one of the people that I know that's over there, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to.
But with some serious, I mean, everybody here, everybody watching on the stream, everybody at home, they're all trying to just to get by, to put one foot in front of the other, to make a product, to build a craft, to serve a good meal to a customer, trying to just do it the right American way. And you've got these guys that can't speak English, may or may not be citizens themselves, who have figured out a way to just bilk us out of hundreds of billions. And it takes Nick Shirley in a sweatshirt to figure this out. And NBC or ABC or CNN, who are right next door to these guys, don't have any curiosity about it. It's just This is why there's the trust in the press is at an all-time low, as President Trump talks about nearly every day, and so we have to continue to fight through it. And kudos to Nick and anybody covering these stories to pierce through the sort of blockade that you see on Apple News and Google News.
Somalians have an average IQ of 68, and they're making millions of dollars on government scams. And here we are.
It's wild. It's wild.
It's real. All right, before we let you go here, I speaking of English speakers, I want you to interpret what is being said here. Here's Elliot Page,
Sure.
star of the new Odyssey movie. There's a lot of words that come out, and I need your opinion on what these words mean.
Oh gosh.
In terms of looking at nature as if it's some sort of cis heteropatriarchal structure is absurd, and that this gender binary that we've created is nothing but a quaint little myth. And I think her work and this documentary.
You don't have to hear any more of that. Let's just run this by again.
In terms of looking at nature as if it's some sort of cis heteropatriarchal structure is absurd, and that this gender binary that we've created is nothing but a quaint little myth.
So I heard that, and I just said that's a lot of words to describe mental illness.
Yeah, he is basically suggesting that your grandson, your daughter, born in the hospital yesterday, is just a myth. I would like to. My response would be: you see this plot of grass here, ladies and gentlemen? Elliot, go touch some. Get outside. Go touch some of that.
I just don't understand. And by the way, this is
stop reading all the books behind you and go touch some grass.
Where's the hold on? I had just had a video pulled up here a second ago of again, this is your big Greek warrior who is like I feel bad. Whatever happened to her, I feel bad.
Yeah.
Something happened along the way that broke this person.
I'm still gonna watch the movie though.
Are you really going to watch it? You are not going to go watch the Odyssey.
Of course.
You are not. Don't give them your money. You're going to go get you're going to go get the Trojan horse popcorn bucket too.
If I let Hollywood political views dictate what I watched and listened to, I wouldn't watch or listen to anything. And so I'll admit it. I'll still spin Springsteen. I don't know. I can compartmentalize it.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Now I won't pay for him to go to. I won't go to a live show here anymore because I don't want to get lectured.
He's worth $1 billion, right?
I know. Yeah, some of that's mine. But I compartmentalize it. I don't take anything Hollywood says seriously about culture and politics. Just entertain me, and I'm willing to pay a little bit of my money for that.
I've cut off a bunch of stuff. Hold on, let's see if there's anybody in the chat that wants to yell at you for that.
I know. Come on.
Never watch that crap. There you go.
Yeah, they'll watch it. They'll get on Netflix, and
nobody's watching the Odyssey.
They'll watch it. What's the difference? You're going to watch it on stream when it comes out, but you're paying for this. What's the difference? You got to cut.
Nobody's watching that on stream. No. I did get though. This is
you don't have your streaming IMAX theater in your palatial.
I don't have that kind of money. I was just talking. Somebody wants me to run for office again, and they were like, "You got enough money to run for office?" I'm like, "No, I don't." I don't have that kind of. But I did get my Santa Eagle. This is from Disney from the 4th of July. The Santa Eagle popcorn bucket.
Cool.
I did do that. I have an annual pass, so because I bought it for somebody else. I have an annual pass. I figured I'd use it. So shame on me. I do. That is my one thing is that until that passes up, I'm going to probably go down and use it some more. And that Guardians of the Galaxy ride, that is a hell of a.
It's not Lindsey Graham's pass, was it?
No.
Okay.
No, you know who it is. We're not just. You know who it is. But no, I mean, look, I got this.
Curious. He was down there. He was down there a few weeks ago.
Oh, he was down there he was down there on a ride, and he had one of the weird pink bubble things that the little bubble spitters that little babies have down there.
Yeah, we announced, but we were bombing Iran, and then he was down there. So I'm just, and then a few weeks later, you're admitting that you have a pass. So I'm just asking. That was transferred.
I will say though, he was good friends with a friend of mine who was a contestant on The Bachelor, and he was a fan of hers from The Bachelor, and that's how they became really good friends.
Good deal.
And I used to tell her like, "Hey, can you tell him to stop?" She's like, no, I can't. But no, I mean that's kind of it. Anything else going on? What else you got going on this week? Anything good going on over at MRC? Any new reports coming out that talk about how terrible everything is? Because you have exposed literally everything, and if people aren't paying attention to what's happening in the media,
Yeah, we got some play on Fox today. We released a study that showed that Apple News and Google News had not shown a single negative story about Graham Plattner up until the New York Times story of May 30th. So they kind of whitewashed all the Nazi tattoo stuff, all the Reddit posts, not a single story about any of those things. And then Google comes back and says, well, our methodology was wrong, even though they never pointed out what was wrong about it. And then they never showed a single story in which they had showcased a negative story about Plattner. So I think they kind of confirmed that we were right after all was said and done. So and we're going to do the same thing with the Michigan race. And we're going to be looking at that. That's a primary in a couple of weeks. So we'll let that sort of shake itself out in the next couple of weeks. But look, we've been talking about this for a few months now over at MRC. Apple News, Google News. I know it's not at the top of the list when people talk about the media, but these two things and MSN on the desktop computer front, these guys are at the point of entry.
Yeah.
Right. And more and more Americans are reporting getting their news and information from the point of entry. They don't, for whatever reason, they don't want to maybe log on to X, or they don't want to log on to, they're sworn off Facebook or whatever. And I don't blame people for that. Or they may not even go to Blue Sky, but they want to stay informed. And so they're just going to log on to their phones, and whatever Apple spits at them is what they think is going on. And so that's why we take this stuff seriously. So they basically, in my opinion, they ran kind of a protection racket for Graham Plattner for about 7 months.
Yeah, they did.
And until and they didn't really do anything negative until the polls went south, which tells you how important the conservative ecosystem is, right? Where you had legit operations, Fox News and Daily Mail and Daily Caller and Daily Signal, Washington Times and the Federalist and the New York Post. They ran hundreds of stories about Graham Plattner, about the things that we know about with the Nazi tattoos and the Reddit stuff and the inherent racism and all that. And these guys pierced through the official Democrat narrative despite getting no help from the point of entry, from the guys that exist at the point of entry. So, I would encourage the audience, like if you're investing in conservative media, continue to do so.
Yeah.
Because that's how you're going to get, the legit stories out there. And so we just did that today. We're going to come up with the Michigan stuff in a couple of weeks as that primary gets closer. And we're going to be watching these guys as the midterms unfold. So, but again, more importantly, our thoughts and prayers go out to the Graham family.
Yeah. And also, by the way, here's some people when you were talking about watching the Odyssey. I lost respect for Dave.
Oh, come on.
Don't watch it.
Come on.
Minus 15 points.
There's no suit for me.
Hey, by the way, are you watching the FIFA?
Spider-Man? Can I do anything? Can I watch any movie?
Did you watch the FIFA?
Dune 3? Can I at least watch Dune 3?
No, you can't watch Dune 3. No.
Come on.
Where did I put the comment here?
Did I watch what?
Did you watch the FIFA? Are you watching the FIFA?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
See, I'm not.
That's another thing that I'm not going to let like the naysayers stop me from watching. I love sports. So it's a once every 4-year event. It's full of corruption. I love it. It's full of bad rules with even bad video reviews. And I get sucked into it every time. It's become if you thought the NFL was over litigated on the field, FIFA's worse. I mean, every good play is subjected to a 10-minute review. So, it's great.
There's a story. I'm going to hit you with this before we go. Freddie, the story of Freddie. Have you seen Freddie on social media?
The German account. Yeah, awesome.
There is now a very, very good contingent that says that he was fake, including me.
Oh, no kidding.
I totally believed he was fake the entire time, because why would you be getting all of this free stuff and getting all of the connections and things that you had and all the money and all the stuff and you didn't want to show your face?
But didn't JJ Watt like confirm that he bought him like a
I mean, that
hotel
was
suite?
there, and then they had Ella Langley tickets, and then he was like at NASA and all this stuff, but it just didn't add up. And
Oh, I know.
apparently, the account had done something similar in the past in Saudi Arabia, and he had lived in, I believe, San Bernardino for.
Oh, no kidding. Oops.
So like this is there. It just kind of smells like something was up.
I don't know how you deal with that if you're Elon and X and those guys. Like, how you sniff that out? You're always going to be a step ahead of the regulators and the Eye of Sauron, the guys responsible for sniffing that stuff out. I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Also, look, David, like you and I have been in media for a while. You get an account all of a sudden that has 820,000 followers behind it. Like, and all you get to do is go around and travel the country. That's going to be your job.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Do that,
yeah.
and you make them. You don't delete that account.
No, exactly. Exactly. But I'd still like to see JJ Watt say he was duped before I believe that.
I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna go hard conspiracy on this one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go hard.
And there were a couple of other celebrities that like pitched in for him.
Apparently, there's some pro wrestlers who met him that like I'm waiting to hear back. Who like actually, I don't buy it.
That's a shame. That's a shame that that's true. Well, it actually served its purpose, right? It broke through.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we're an awesome country. It was just look. We don't have cobblestone. Well, very few places. We don't have cobblestone streets. We don't have very old buildings. We don't have very old statues. We don't have very old documents. Right? We're babies in the grand scheme of things. So like, what can we celebrate? Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's. That's right.
Right. I mean,
Buc-ee's.
what can we? It's just like indulgence. Food with drippy cheese and everything. I mean, just everything, just indulgence, and you can celebrate it for a couple of weeks out of the year. And so I thought it was great. I'd be ashamed if it was fake.
I think both are true. I liked it, but also totally fake.
Like the Odyssey is going to be.
I mean,
but also totally.
Was
fake.
it Helen of Troy's a black woman now, and she said that if she got to meet.
Color. I don't see colors. I can't believe that you do.
Well, I'm noted racist Tim Young, and and she said that if she got to meet Homer, that she would tell him, I think we need to have more. What do you think about these black women get all the screen time or something? The actress, she had something. I'm like, yeah, okay, you would have told him that, sure.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. Yep. I don't know, man. I just, I'm gonna play Rosa Parks. I think when they do the remake of her life.
Yeah. Well, more seats for me, more popcorn for me.
We'll get a bus.
More indulgence for me.
There will be you'll get a green bus for the popcorn bucket, and it'll be me sitting in the front with a little smile and thumbs up. Welcome to the movie.
Larry David's bit about Rosa Parks. That was funny. I'm not going to let Larry David just like Trump derangement syndrome.
He is pretty.
Not let me enjoy his comedy. I mean, that was a great bit where Rosa Parks purposely goes to the back just to avoid him. That was great. It's a great way to do that.
Yeah, I mean, looking again, like this is Disney, so
yeah.
Screw me. All right. Well, David Bozell, thanks for being here, and
brother,
we
thanks,
will
man.
see you again soon, man.
Thanks, brother. See you.
Talk to you later. I think that's a good spot to clear up the show, because I think we had a great time talking about everything today. I really enjoyed hanging out. We're gonna get back to doing this normally. I finally got back from the first vacation I've taken in 5 years, and then in the middle of me coming back from that vacation, speaking of the Michigan elections that are coming up, I was called to Detroit to go and hang out with some folks up there, some great folks up there who are hardworking and trying to help those elections out. So yeah, all of that. Look at that. And I don't know what's happening here with. We'll just put that there. Could we? Helen of Detroit. I just think maybe we should start doing productions where, I play Rosa. We always do the posters for them, like the fake AI posters. But maybe we should just produce the film, just do it. Just go in on it and let everybody lose their minds, and then be like, And I'm not even saying like we're blackface either. You just should like this. This is Rosa Parks with no costume, and just go sit in the. I think that is giving them a taste of their own medicine, and see how the left reacts to it. All right, well, that's all we need to talk about for today. I think that's pretty good. I think that's a solid show. I want to thank David Bazot. I want to thank Laurie Hins, national Republican representative from North Dakota, committee woman from North Dakota. And if you guys need tickets to that midterm, make sure you want to come out here. David's going to be here for America. I'm going to be here out at the midterm convention. It's going to be a fun time in Dallas, September 9th and 10th. If you need your tickets still, you can go to your state parties, should have a bunch, but North Dakota is going to have a couple of extra ones. So ndgop.gov to go get those. That being said, it's been a great time hanging out with you guys. I will see you on Thursday, and you will be seeing me now more regularly. I'm going to be responsible and actually show up.